bloopers. All right, take two. Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Buffalo Happy Hour. What's up, Mike?
Derek, I'm glad we got our first official blooper on a special interview. But we're with our friends with the Bagel Jar, so I'm very excited. So let's start with introductions and finagle the bagel, because there's a lot of things to discuss here. So what's going on?
Hi, I'm Morgan.
And I'm John.
We're the Bagel Jar.
Yeah. We make bagels.
Yes, handcrafted bagels.
That's okay. So you guys, let's digest all this. So you're married.
Yes, we're married.
I guess, yeah.
So love it.
Based on the paperwork.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're bound by contract.
Yeah.
So you just all of a sudden woke up one day and you're like, you know what? We're going to do it. We're going to bake bagels and we're going to sell them to people.
Yeah. I was just like, so, I mean, do you want to give the backstory?
You got it.
Okay, so she's from Cleveland. I grew up in Buffalo, and we lived in Cleveland for a little bit, and right out of college, and we're just like, there's this local bakery that made fresh bagels every morning, dropped it off to all the local coffee shops, and we're like, this is a really good bagel. And everybody would wait in line to get their dozen bagels, and the minute they were gone, they were gone. We moved to Buffalo, and we're just like, I'd rather not go to Tim Hortons and get a bagel that was probably in the freezer. So we just decided to start rolling our own bagels one day, and that was probably like late last year, 2019, or I guess 2 years ago now. And yeah, and then it started building up. In March 2020, we were like, let's start selling bagels, and yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think we met in college, actually, and we took one class together, and that was Intro to Entrepreneurship. So we've always been like, what is going to be our business? You know, we've always been really interested, and there were no bagels, and we're like, let's make some, see how it goes. And the farmers market seemed like the perfect opportunity to kind of try out and see how it went. So yeah, I mean, we didn't expect it to be where it is right now.
When we reached out to the Hamburg Farmers Market, we're like, oh, we're these people, we just formed a business out of nowhere, they're not going to accept us. And they're like, oh yeah, we love bagels. No one ever sells them here, so let's come on. And yeah, I mean, we started off selling. She had little faith. She's like, let's make 30 bagels. I'm like, we're there for 6 hours. And I was like, I convinced her to make like, I think 50 or 100. And how long did we sell out in?
I think we sold out of 100 bagels in a couple hours.
In a couple hours, and we're like, we had a home processing license, and it was just like, we're just trying to. We have our oven at home. We have a couple pots of boiling water, and we're just trying to make it all happen. And the next weekend we had a couple hundred.
Well, I still was very negative. I was like, well, that means people want bagels, but that doesn't necessarily mean people like our bagels. So it took me a couple weeks before I actually was really convinced.
Yeah. So then we were working from. Pretty much I got home at 5 on Friday. We'd work until midnight, and then we'd wake up at 3 in the morning and continue all the way until 7:30 when we'd go to the market. We would make like maybe 300 bagels at our house, and we still sell it in 3 hours. I'm like, what are we doing? Why are people buying our bagels? Why? I didn't think they'd be that good.
Was anybody offering feedback?
Well,
Other than you make a damn good bagel?
Well, that's the hard part. People were just like, I really enjoy the bagel. I can taste how fresh it is once you make it. And I was just like, 3 hours ago.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I think too, well, we didn't know. We thought you boil a bagel. That's like what makes a bagel a bagel.
So let's discuss the process to make a bagel, because I know a lot of people literally have no idea. They just go up to a window and then one's just presented to them.
Exactly.
So from the start, like, how do you actually make a bagel?
Yeah, so you mix the dough. It's actually really simple ingredients. It's just yeast, flour, salt, water, and malt. We use malt, and so there's some variation about like what the sugar is, but that's what we use. And you let it rise.
So you prove it.
Yes, we proof it.
It's his favorite word. He loves saying that he proves everything,
Do you
including
knead
his
it?
cinnamon rolls.
Do we knead it?
Yeah, do you have to knead the dough for a bagel?
So bagel dough is actually really heavy. So like pierogi dough, I know I don't say pierogi correctly around here, but pierogi dough is like the toughest dough, and I think bagel dough is like second. It's pretty tough. So we just use a mixer. So we don't
A stand mixer?
Yes.
Solid.
Yeah. So starting off at our house, we had 3 KitchenAids, making 7 bagels at a time, And
It's like the British baking show.
And-
That guys using 2 at the same time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it's just like
but it was like they were smelling like they are not meant to
Yeah.
make like hundreds of bagels. So like we're like that's not
those
good.
things are going for 12 hours, and the house smells like electrical fire. And it's just
But but so you let it rise, and then you boil them. So that's the key. So you boil them in hot water, and then you season them, you bake them, and the boiling is what makes a bagel. But now I guess you can steam bagels. So there's steamed bagels out there.
and
You
that-
know more
Yeah,
about
and that's
that
how.
process.
Whoa.
Yeah, we don't get involved. We
Yeah.
don't dare go near that.
But so that was the feedback. People were like, "Do you boil your bagels?" And we're like, "Yeah, that's how you make a bagel. You boil it." But I guess that's like hard to find around here, actual like real boiled bagels.
Well, yeah. So first of all, what was the staple in Cleveland that was like this is the go-to?
So the rosemary sea salt was my favorite. It was
Okay.
the Cleveland Bagel Company. They went to local coffee shops, and so I just would go and be like, a bagel. It was the best treat ever. And we aren't big drivers places, but we would drive to downtown Cleveland to get bagels on Saturdays. So that's really what kind of convinced us to
Okay.
get started.
So the next, you're just in love right now.
It's a damn good bagel, bro.
The next thing is like in the area, we had Manhattan Bagel for a little bit, and then
Yes.
they pulled out.
Yes.
But people generally go to Tim Hortons to get it, and again, no free shout outs, but Tim Hortons is not the best bagel.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, people associate the best bagel in the area with Tops Markets, which, again, no free shout outs, but
Yeah.
Tops is not a bakery, they're a grocery store.
Yeah.
So having this business model just to create bagels because no one else does it is
Yeah.
like the perfect niche.
Yeah.
And I think like what we thought too were like people don't just go home and like make a bagel on a Sunday morning. You know, like it's not the type
Correct.
of thing you do. So like we're providing a service that people don't normally do.
You just
It's
jumped
so-
into that thing.
That is so good. Oh my god.
Didn't even try to hold
I
back.
got seeds and
Yeah.
cream cheese
No,
all over
and,
the
yeah,
place.
he's
We
an
have
animal.
a lot of seeds. So seeds are like glitter. Like they're just all over the place all the time. So
Goodness. So yeah, but it's obviously fresh is the biggest thing. But where do you source your ingredients to? Because I know there's going to be a lot of people that ask as soon as this goes live, is this grown in their backyard? It's like, relax, dude. Like there's different ways to source your ingredients. So
Yeah.
where do you guys get your goods?
So right now we go to a local bakery shop or a local bakery supply store. It's over by Lark.
Twin Bakery
Twin-
Supply.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's where we get most of our stuff.
Well, yeah, there really aren't that many ingredients. So the flour we get there, our salt and
The salt you can get
yeast
anywhere.
we get at Restaurant Depot, and then we get our malt online from King Arthur. So
And then we get our water on tap.
yeah,
Solid.
just Buffalo
Local
water.
water.
There you go. So you crush the farmer's market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then from there, you're like, well, I guess people want to keep buying our stuff. So what was the next step?
So.
Well, we quickly grew out of our house.
Yeah.
That was the big thing. So yeah.
What do you mean? You were sick of waking up at midnight?
No.
Yeah. It was. Well, we still woke up at midnight to make the bagels, but we were making like 700 at that
Yeah.
time. So.
Jesus.
Yeah, so we went, Babcha's Pierogies actually suggested a Broadway Market kitchen. So you can rent it for $15 an hour, and like we would never have access to all of this equipment if we didn't. You know, so the stand mixer, it mixes 48 bagels at a time for us versus like our 7 that took like 15 minutes, and then 45 minutes in the oven. It just like cut down the process a ton. So that was really the big move for us to come here to the Broadway Market, and then
So from there we were selling 700, and we're just like we had our family. We were here at midnight. I was like, Mom, Dad, sisters, you're coming over, and you're helping us bag bagels. There's just a lot of bagels to put in a bag.
yeah, because we have to individually wrap them all. So that was the easiest way, especially when people pre-ordered. So like everything didn't touch their plane, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So once we individually wrapped them, which took a really long time,
Yeah.
we went from there.
Yeah, and then so then we're just like, that's over end of October. And we're just like, we got to find a way to keep selling them. So we partner with Takes Cakes in Hamburg, and that's where people can currently pick up. And we're also doing a bunch of just pop-ups around Hamburg just to maintain that presence.
Nice.
And then
we saw at the Broadway Market.
then
too.
we saw at the Broadway Market every Saturday.
Yeah.
What made you choose Hamburg?
Just because we live in Hamburg.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
So were you from Hamburg originally?
I'm from Eden.
Okay.
So
Close
yeah,
enough.
yeah,
Same
very
thing.
close.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, we just didn't know any farmers markets or anything like that, and we weren't really sure, you know. But Hamburg was fantastic. There were so many people, and
Very supportive.
yeah,
They're
and
the
everyone
perfect
was
community to bring something like this
so,
into.
they are, you know, like that's what, and so that's what kept us over the winter, because originally we were like, let's do it for a couple months, see how it goes. Maybe we start up next summer if it goes well. But people really wanted them over the winter, so we're like, all right, let's see what we can do, and to make that happen.
Now it's just us. I mean, we make a couple hundred, 300 on a weekend, and we're just like, we're just happy making bagels, and it's just, there's no rush of like, we need to make as many as humanly possible, because we're gonna sell out and people are gonna be angry.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's been great, honestly, because just me and him can make them now, all of them, on our own. And we've really, I feel like, perfected the bagel process versus just like making them to like get them out. Like, you know, how long do we boil them? Like the exact times. It's really just like this science that we really aren't bakers. We made some bread and we have a pizza oven. But like other than that, like we were never really like passionate bakers or anything like that.
So this started off as kind of like a hobby at some point, because you guys still currently have full-time jobs, right?
Yes.
Correct.
So what was the time commitment when you first started? I know that we talked about the number of bagels, but how much time were you actually putting into this business a week?
So, I mean, we would put out a little Google form during the week. People would pre-order Thursday, Friday nights. We'd compile them all. She'd get home a little before me. She'd get a whole list together of a baking order. Hey, we're making this many bagels. We need this. These ones are going to these people, and so we'd probably put like 10, 12 hours during the week after work, and then we'd probably commit like 20 hours on the weekend, just either standing there selling them or staying up all night to make them.
Yeah, because we would start at midnight and the farmer's market went till 1 p.m. So we would cook all night, then go to the market and sell, and then sleep.
Then sleep. And then watch
So
the
we
film.
were very exciting, yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
So has that process been the same up until now, and you just have more utilities to use in the same amount of time?
Yeah, and then over this past winter, we've kind of slowed down. I mean, we'll get here at 4 in the morning. We're lucky, or maybe 3, depending on how many we pre-order. But it's. I mean, I wake up at 4 in the morning now. It's just like I can't. If I can go to bed at 11 and I'd still be up at 4 in the morning. And it's just like who I am now.
And we've like optimized every single like aspect, I feel like. So like the pre-orders, assembling all of those, we do that all now before we like. So when we started, we would wrap all the bagels. Like we would take a brown paper, like wrap them and stick a sticker on them, which doesn't sound like that time consuming, but it is. So like we bought like sandwich bags and we'd like stick them in there, and so that was the first time saver. Then we started putting the stickers on before, and now we actually like assemble it as a pack. Like the boiling process, like everything, I think we've gotten it down to a science now where we don't even have to think. Like Saturday, we're like, we have so much time.
Yeah, we finished way too early on Saturday.
Yeah,
I'm like, we forgot to put yeast in something, I bet.
I know, like something's gonna go wrong because we have so much extra time. So
That's incredible.
Do you guys have defined roles that you do? Like you only do the boiling process?
yeah, so I'm the boiler, I'm the seeder, and I'm the baker. So that's my job. And then John rolls, and then like you have to like measure out each amount. So that's his job.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But it doesn't sound like a lot, but the rolling is it is hard.
Yeah, so the rolling is just arm work. It's a whole arm workout for like 4 hours, and it's just nonstop. Just
I was the roller, and I got kicked out of the position. I was
my
I
hands.
was a little
amazing.
too sloppy.
My hands are bigger, and I was more of a perfectionist.
Yeah, John like cares a little bit more, and I was like,
She's just like throwing around the dough everywhere, and I'm just like, no.
yeah. And so now we have our roles, but I like the baking.
Yeah, and we can switch whenever we want, but
Yeah, I rolled yours today, so
Oh.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Made with love. So when you guys first started, did you sit down and compile your flagships? Like obviously we need a plane. We should probably have an everything, but were there others where you're kind of disagreeing on? Where you're like, I want cinnamon raisin, but I want blueberry, or was it everything's on
He's
the table?
giving a look, so it definitely happened.
Well, so when we started our home processing, it actually limited us. So you couldn't do like fruits, you couldn't do cheeses or anything like that. You
Okay.
could only do like seeded bagels. So there really are like a limited number of seeded bagels. I think I tried like a lavender thyme one or something. I don't know. I tried
some weird
other
flavors.
but like there's only so many seeds
Right.
ones. So that kind of streamlined us at first.
Yeah. So then once we got here, we expanded into the cinnamon raisin. Then we do a cinnamon sugar, which has butter in it. So you can't do that at home. But those are just they're unique doughs. There's because they have cinnamon in them, they're different, and the raisins just make it a whole heck of a lot harder to roll. And it's just like
We hate cinnamon raisin.
Strongly dislike. But hate's a good word.
But that's got to be one of the top sellers, though, right?
Yeah. That and cinnamon sugar.
Cinnamon sugar has really popped up there. Yeah, I think everything sells the most, and then rosemary sea salt, and then cinnamon sugar and cinnamon raisin.
Yep. And it's just like, yeah, we dabbled in onion and garlic, but we just weren't happy with the way it was turning out. So we kind of pulled back and still doing some research on those.
Yeah, so we're going to start mixing them in the doughs. So that's what we're excited about is like more time to actually start experimenting with more flavors versus I think before we were just trying to survive, bring as many bagels as we could.
Just survive in advance.
So you guys on your Instagram, your handle includes LLC.
Yes.
So when did you guys do the formation of the actual business part? And since you're probably one of our newest businesses on, can you describe that process a little bit and what you had to go through?
Yeah. So I run the business.
John does run the business.
She handles the marketing.
I'm the vision.
Yeah.
I'm the visionary.
The vision board.
Yeah.
So basically, I was just like, okay, I got to do everything. I got to do it all by the book. I mean, like, I'm not here to get shut down. Not here to get sued.
I wouldn't have known any of that. I would have just like shown up
she's
with
just
some
like, here's bagels.
Yeah.
Here's bagels. You get a bagel. It's like Oprah. And I was
like
I was like, calm down. It's okay. So like, we ended up doing it online. I'm sure someone's gonna tell me it was a bad idea. We did the whole formation online, the LLC, and then I was just like, I emailed the farmers market and I was like, do you guys have a insurance provider that we should use? And they were great. They gave us some local insurance providers, so there's nobody like no big name people. So it was actually pretty affordable. And that was all me. And then I handled like doing all the state stuff, all the publication stuff, because for LLCs you need to do a whole publication process. In the newspaper. I didn't even know they still had those.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
So I was just like, I got to do it all, and then I'm emailing the state because they're not responding to me, and I'm like 30 days overdue, and I'm just like, hey, I mailed everything to you like months ago, and they're just like, oh no, we got it, it's just not updated. I was like, well, it'd be great if somebody told me that.
Right.
And then we got a PO box, so everything's not going to our house. So we basically
phone number.
Yeah, we got a phone number. It was just like on our phone. It still goes to our cell phones, but it's like separate from the business. Just so we just just have to separate ourselves from the business as much as possible. So that's the business. This is our house. Like they're two different things.
Right.
So we got the credit card, we got the bank accounts, and so it was just like there was some good online tutorials on like basically these are the steps for New York State, and I just went through each one and just banged them all out over like 2 months.
Yeah,
So-
that's a good point because starting at home and transitioning to an actual space that you can cook in, how do you guys separate the home life from the work life? Because being married, I mean, that has to have its own challenges, right?
Yeah, I mean, we see each other a lot. It's nice. I mean, we like each other.
Well, that's good.
It's been nicer since we've streamlined the process. It was a little rough at the beginning.
It was. There would be a lot of disagreements when we're trying to crank out 700 bagels, and we're just like we each have different ideas of like how we're going to get the 700 in the car before the car drives a half an hour down to Hamburg.
Yeah.
So it was just like, luckily we figured it out, and now we're here. We just have our roles. We know exactly what we're doing. We can just probably do it like blindfolded.
Yeah, but I think we really complement each other well with our skill set. So, like, I would not be good at anything business-wise. Like taxes, like John handles all that stuff. So, luckily, we have him to handle it.
I'm with you.
Yeah. So it's nice. Anything he doesn't like to do, I do, and anything I don't like to do, he does, and that works out really well for us.
Yeah. So if you message us on Instagram, it's probably Morgan responding.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
That's awesome.
But so that's our roles, kind of. We each have our own roles, and I'll go home at night and just sit on QuickBooks, just trying to figure out what I missed over the last 4 months, because the accountant's telling me that I got to do something differently, and I'm trying to figure out how to do it, and I'm probably doing it wrong, which I was.
Which I was.
But
Cool.
So what do you, outside of the onion R&D, are there any other bagels that is in that process or that you have thought about doing?
Yeah, there's blueberry and doing like a jalapeno cheddar. Then we're also looking
That's
at
interesting.
mixing some stuff with the everything bagel. We did see an everything like jalapeno.
Like a dried jalapeno.
It was a dried
on
jalapeno,
which
so
sounded
it'd be
really
something that we could
interesting.
easily incorporate. Because the issue is once you get to the blueberries and the jalapenos, the added water content just like kills like what you're looking for to roll. Like so, we're not dense, but we're not just like kind of just like a heavy water, but on the dough. So it's just like in the sugar in the blueberries also just like the yeast just goes crazy. So you gotta find a way to like limit, like kind of reduce yeast, reduce the water amount, because the blueberries are pretty much like 95% water. So it's just like you just gotta plan for all those things, and then So the raisins were a little easier just because they have very limited water
they're
content.
dehydrated already.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's like what we're trying to decide, like for the blueberry, like frozen blueberries or fresh. Fresh are hard because you can't get them all the time and they're not always good. And then like there's the dehydrated blueberries, but I think those taste weird. So like it's just like, so we just make up all the recipes. So it's just like trial and error.
Yeah,
Until
so
find
we
something
sit
that
there
works.
changing numbers until we're happy with what the result.
And we still change numbers, like the
Yeah.
cinnamon raisin.
Yeah, the cinnamon
we
raisin.
need to adjust some numbers.
Yeah.
So
Because there's always tweaking to make it better.
yes.
Always.
It's like a home brew.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
brewing beer where you're literally trying to figure out your formula.
Well,
Yeah.
the ingredients that they were talking about in the beginning is like beer.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy, the
Yeah.
similarities.
Yeah, it really. I mean, it's very simple and but very complex at the same time.
So we got to talk about what goes in the bagel, because that's arguably a more important part, the cream cheese. So
Yes.
where do you get the cream cheese from? How do you, or what do you even prefer, cream cheese versus butter?
Well, so I prefer cream cheese, but the big thing here at the Broadway Market is butter and cream cheese, which I'd never heard
Oh.
of. Yeah, like everyone wants butter and cream cheese.
Yeah, and the hard part with the cream cheese was we were trying to, so there's a bunch of local creameries, and none of them make cream cheese. So we were looking at starting to mix our own. Just New York State would let us buy cream cheese in bulk and mix our own flavors. But we just never really got there. We were just focusing on bagels for now.
How do you even make cream cheese? Is that a dumb question? I feel like that's a dumb question.
No, I don't
could-
know. There's
could-
like this cheesecloth I've seen online. I don't
Couldn't
know.
even tell
We
you.
just looked up stuff online.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So I'm not the only one.
No.
Do you know how?
No.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, it's something.
But I don't know. So somehow milk becomes cheese,
Yeah.
and then it gets
And then
creamy.
it goes from there. So that was too complicated for us. So yeah, we actually just started our prepared bagels. We didn't do that at the Hamburg. We just sold them like, you could buy them like singleton or six pack or 12. So only since we've been at the Broadway Market have we been actually like putting cream cheese on them, which was its own process of, you know, how much cream cheese do you put? You know, like everyone has like a personal preference.
Taking sales
so,
tax.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Sales tax, yeah, things like that.
So how is the Cleveland bagel culture when it comes to, like, how does it different from Buffalo? I feel like people from Buffalo go to Cleveland all the time because it's so
Yeah.
close. So how do these two compare?
Did you know? I mean, I would.
Well, so there's two big bagel capitals around here. So New York City is like the one big bagel, and then Montreal style bagel. Have you heard of these two types?
No.
before?
What are you talking about?
So New York City bagels. Have you had a New York City bagel before?
No. I had a slice of pizza.
Okay.
That was it.
So they're like huge. They're really tall. They're really big. They don't have a really big center. John knows a lot more. They have their famous New York City water. So like probably with the pizza too. Like that's what makes them special is their fancy water. And then Montreal are like really big holes. They wood fire them. They cover them in seeds like all the way around. Like they say you don't even slice a Montreal bagel. You just like eat it. Like it's hot, fresh, like out of the oven. So like those are like the two big, I think, like points we've looked at to kind of figure out. Obviously we don't have a wood fire oven here and we don't have New York City water. So we just kind of like made up our own recipe till it worked for us. So we kind of took a little bit of both. Like seeds, we double side them all because we love seeds. And then we figure people can like scrape them off if they're unhappy with the seed. We boil them in malt. Some do it in honey, some do it just in water.
Yep.
But I think for me, a bagel's kind of like pizza, where like everybody has like their own take
Sure.
on it, and that's okay. Like you can go somewhere and really like their bagel no matter where they go. And in Cleveland, I don't even know what kind.
I think they just call there's like a Cleveland style bagel.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
it just like kind of fits in. But there's just nothing that beats a fresh bagel. I feel like when it
Absolutely.
comes down to it.
And places around here, they put way too much cream cheese or way too much butter on it, and it is terrible for it. I feel if this is how you do it normally, this is perfect. The perfect amount of cream cheese on it.
I'm still caught up that there's a Montreal bagel. Like, I didn't know any of that.
Yeah.
That's fascinating. And of course, yeah, you're always going to have sticklers that say that's too much or that's too little.
Yeah.
But I'm also shocked that butter and cream cheese combination is new to you.
Yeah, I've never heard of that until we came here.
Yeah. So my first job was at Tim Hortons, and obviously we're cranking bagels all the time.
John worked there too.
I wasn't going to say it.
Yeah.
Not name drop anybody.
No, you're fine. It's exactly. Yeah, I'm scarred too. But so you also know that they literally just come off the truck frozen in a giant bag.
Yes, I wasn't going to say that, but yes, they're
Yeah,
frozen
no,
in a box.
I have no shame. I'll just throw them under the bus. I got my CDL. So, with that, I literally remember the first time that was ordered, and I just stared at the human being, and I'm like, I'm sorry. What? And they're like, yeah, can I have butter and cream cheese? And I looked at, it was my supervisor at the time, and I'm like, can we do that? And then she just stared at me like, yeah, like, just do it. I'm like, that doesn't even seem, and then I tried it on break, and I'm like, well, all right, I guess I'm not that upset anymore. But it's just fascinating. So, do you use a specific kind of butter? And like, are you brand specific, or do you not care?
We don't care right now. I mean,
Yeah.
we're just trying to make, because people here were just like, can I get my bagel prepared? I don't want to take it to go. I just want to eat it now. And it's just like, we were just like, we just found the closest place that sold butter.
But we try to use, we try to do like limited like ingredient, like cause some like you'll go to like Restaurant
Oh,
Depot
yeah.
and it's like a whole box of ingredients. It's crazy on the back. So like, you know, the butters that have like just like salt
Yes,
or,
basically salt and milk. Or where we go. We try to
cream.
limit any ingredient possible.
but spreadability is also important. You know,
Sure.
like same with cream cheese. Like it's just like, so that's where now that's what we're hoping to find, like what is best for us. But I'm happy you like the amount. It's a challenge.
I
like,
mean,
just
if you
figuring it out.
want, we can once we're off air, we'll just dive in.
Oh yeah.
We'll give you all the feedback
Yeah.
on all the things.
Yes, please. We love feedback.
It's all good feedback. Just because
Oh,
it's off
yeah.
there doesn't mean it's bad feedback. But
Well, yeah, I mean, don't scare the people. They know. No, I mean, this is exciting. It's just fascinating because you never think that you can talk about a bagel for an hour.
No.
But you easily can. So, regarding the future for you guys, you're the vision board.
Yeah.
So, I imagine you're going to have this cute little boutique. And
Close. You're close to what I want.
Oh boy.
and then people are going to walk in. I don't even know what that is, the B word that I just used, but I
yeah,
just.
that was pretty fancy.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Boutique.
So, they come in, they order their bagel.
Yeah.
So, do you have an idea of a menu where you're like, I'm gonna throw some craziness onto this bagel, or are you just gonna keep it straight cream cheese and butter? Or are you gonna throw in like making a sandwich?
Oh yeah. I have some big visions. So
Let's hear it.
I want a bagel buggy first. I don't want a boutique. So
Okay.
I want a bagel buggy that can travel all over the city, where you have awesome bagel sandwiches, you know, all over the place. I recently saw you slice your bagel into 4 and you make a grilled cheese in the middle, and then have, you know, bagel like sandwich toppings on the bottom and the top. And I definitely want to have that.
I can't handle that.
I'm a big fan. Well, I love cream cheese on everything anyway, like just like bacon, egg, and cheese, but like cream cheese or like hot pepper jelly and bacon and cream cheese. Like, so I just want some really good bagel sandwiches. That's kind of my vision. So we haven't had enough time to really like prep out a menu yet, but I finally have laid my idea out enough that John has given in to my bagel buggy. He was talking about getting a new car, like we need a new car for it, so that was the latest thing.
New to us, not used to everybody else.
I hear you. Yep.
So now, the numbers guy, when do you feel like that would be in place? Like, when do you want that vision to come to reality?
Probably, I mean, the cost for starting it up is like minimal, but I mean, I would probably say like 6 months would be
cool.
like the absolute earliest.
Oh, geez. Okay.
But I mean,
That's
that
coming up quick.
Yeah,
It is.
probably this summer would be the absolute earliest.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But
Which is perfect time. So
yeah, and then for the near future and probably far future, we'll be at we are working with Public Espresso, and we will be using their kitchen, and they'll be able to sell our bagels daily. So that'll be our nice that'll be like kind of like our storefront. We're like partnering with them. They're going to use all our bagels for their sandwiches, and then people will be able to buy them like fresh. Like you walk in and there's just like racks of bagels.
Oh, sweet.
Similar to Tim Hortons.
Similar to Tim Hortons, but ours are not frozen.
Correct.
Yeah, so I mean that's been a great opportunity. It's like a great place for us to just, I mean, they have great coffee and espresso, and
Yeah.
they're already downtown, and they're in Seneca Street, where we'll be working out of. Yeah, so we're planning on getting there probably every morning at 3:30, 4 o'clock, making 50, 100 bagels, putting them out on racks, going to work, rinse, repeat.
Wow.
How many bagels did you
I
say?
said 50 to 100.
Oh, I thought you said 1,500.
Oh
I was
my
like,
God.
Wow.
I wouldn't have arms.
Good point. Is there a machine that does it?
There is.
There is a machine, but we pride ourselves on like the handcrafted. I mean, it's easy to just buy a machine, just throw a ball of dough in, and out pops a bagel.
And it's expensive
Yeah.
too. Yeah. But I mean that's how you I think that's how people make bagels, like mass produce them. But Montreal is they only hand roll them. New York City, they use the machine. So they're just like opposite, which is crazy because it's all a bagel, but it's
Yeah.
like
And I
a
mean-
completely different experience.
Yeah, there are the places. I mean, there's probably places in both that do both techniques, but the main place in Montreal hand rolls everything, and they just go right in the water.
You guys visit these places?
Well, we were
Not yet.
planning on it. I've been to New York City.
Yeah, I've never even been to New York City.
So
But John's sister brought some bagels back from us from Long Island, so
yeah,
we got to try
we were.
those.
I was down in the city for work, and
But they're huge. They're like this as big as my
and
head.
they are dense, and it's just like
That's
yeah.
That's fascinating. Wow. Okay. So how do you know this? I mean, you've never been in New York City, but all of a sudden you know all about the two different bagel types.
YouTube.
Okay, gotcha. So just a ton of research.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Wow. It blew my mind. I didn't know any of that.
Okay, so jelly. What about jelly? Do you think that it goes on a bagel? What bagel does it go on? What is you said you like the hot pepper jelly. Hot pepper jelly is my jam.
Yes.
I love that stuff. So what do you think about it on bagels?
Well, hot pepper jelly is perfect with cream cheese, so I feel like that is like perfect combo. Other jellies, I guess I haven't really considered it that much. You know, I'm a big cream cheese fan, so I
Yeah.
eat mostly cream cheese
Yeah.
on my bagel. But I don't know. I guess I like jelly. I
Yeah.
just never really tried it. I'm a big jelly
Yeah.
person.
And my aunt, no shout outs, I'm sorry, makes a great hot pepper jelly. And that's like our go to. Like that's the only time I eat a plain bagel, hot pepper jelly, and cream cheese.
And bacon. I like that. Some bacon.
Morgan
on
likes the
there.
bacon.
Yeah.
Carnivore.
Would you? So we
Nothing
talked
wrong with
about we talked about your little bagel buggy that you're gonna have.
Yeah.
Would you want to serve coffee with it too, or like what's the drink options there?
Yeah, I mean, I like coffee. John is not a coffee drinker yet.
Tim
but
Hortons has killed me.
We're
It's
we're
starting.
transitioning him. He's starting to drink chai teas. So
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Solid.
Slowly.
Loose leaf or tea bag?
Whatever public makes. they brew their own. Couldn't even tell
Gotcha.
you.
Yeah, I mean, I like teas too, coffee. I've always actually wanted to be a barista, which sounds weird, but
That's amazing.
yeah. So I think that would be really cool to learn.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to take on too much, so I need to do sandwiches
Right.
first and then go from there.
And with jellies, have you told her about Chautauqua and the whole county and literally like Welch's grapes?
Yeah, they happen to have some grapes down there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
Well,
Welch's.
I just know the wine. I don't really.
Right, right.
But I know
Well,
there's wine down there.
Absolutely. So because of Welch's and all the grapes, obviously it's a massive wine territory, which it's all fascinating and phenomenal. But if you wanted to get local jellies, I'm sure it wouldn't be difficult
Oh,
to
yeah.
find it.
Yeah, and there's been some local jellies we've been using from the market, like just personally ourselves at home. So it's been good to have them. And I think they use their grapes out of Chautauqua.
Oh,
So that's what I think.
cool.
Yeah.
So how can people order stuff now?
So-
and what are your prices?
So right now we're doing $2.50 for a single bagel, 6 for $12, or 12 for $20. So that we kind of just have like a tiered pricing, just like so basically 6 for $12 is $2 a piece, then it kind of goes down from there once you go to a dozen. But I mean we try to keep it simple. We don't really like change.
But online, you can order
Oh, yeah,
at thebageljar.com.
Thebageljar.com.
Yeah, so we love pre-order. So if you want to pre-order, it helps us so then we know how many to make. We love it. but you can order online. So it depends on where we go. So some places like you'll have to pay in advance, so you just pay like Square online, and then or it's like a Google form. It's a fancier Google form, but it looks like it on the back end, and then you just pick up and order there. So we are at the Broadway Market on Saturdays, and we do pop-ups all over the place too. And then we'll soon be starting at Public every day, so you can buy them there as well.
Yeah, and then I mean we mostly stick to kind of Broadway South. We're sticking to the South towns. Just we find that's where the people know us, and there's no point for us to expand until everyone's had a chance in South towns to have our bagels, and they seem to like them. So we want to keep it local instead of trying to get too big. I mean we're only like a year old.
Yeah, but you guys are crushing it.
Oh,
so it's going to be soon that you guys have to get to that point where you're like, we got to do something.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. So, but the Bagel Buggy, I think, is my genius idea. That's
You got her started. You got her started.
I'm sorry for ruining your evening.
Yeah, I've been talking about it for a long time.
Yeah, long time. So imagine having a trailer that we serve bagels out of. Like a
great
bagel
idea.
buggy? Yeah.
It sounds great on paper.
Yeah.
So it's just, it's got to work.
Yeah.
It's the next thing.
Yeah. And now she's got to learn to drive a trailer.
Yep.
That's
the
why
next-
I need like a small car. Like as we were talking, I was like, I don't really want a big truck. So
And do you guys have a logo?
Yeah, it's pretty much just our text.
yeah, our text
And then we have a little we have
Oh,
a,
we have
we have,
this
we have like a little guy in the back. I don't know if you can see
bagel
him.
in a jar.
It's kind of like a bagel, yeah.
Okay.
Nothing like crazy. People know, I think, our text because we were walking into Public one day and one guy was just like chasing down. My mom takes them. She drops them. So we're here on Saturdays and she'll take them to Public if we're for now. And some guy's like, "Are those Bagel Jar bagels?" He like saw the bag and like ran in and bought some. I was just like, I didn't even know people knew what our bag looked like.
Yeah,
That's
it's
sweet.
fun because we stamp them all, so people like take pictures with them places.
Yeah.
So it's
Oh, nice.
kinda
Yeah,
cool.
so it's like that's mostly our Instagram is people that just are like hold up their bag of bagels next to their face or something.
Yeah.
love it, bagels. Or their dog, some dog photos.
Yeah.
Do you have any merch, or is that in the future plans too?
That's
That-
on John's list. Of
That's
things
that's
to
my
do.
list.
Yeah. So
I work
he's
with the
working on
Illustrator.
that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Adobe Illustrator, not an Illustrator. We're not that. We're not
Yeah,
that
you just got a guy in the back. It's like, work on this.
Hurry up over there. Come on.
Yeah, and our slogan hasn't gone off yet. I wanted it to be our big slogan. I thought of it, not John's, because I'm the visionary.
Oh, goodness.
But bagels make me want to shout, like the Bills,
Okay.
but it hasn't really come off. So it's on the back of the shirt I'm wearing right now. But yeah, our merch is very, very
Limited.
pitiful. So
Yeah.
that's our
I
next
won't say
step.
pitiful.
So
Okay.
coming from Cleveland, you already adapted the Bills culture with the bagels make me want to shout.
She
Yes.
didn't have a choice.
I like that.
And when she was in Cleveland, it was the Browns were gone when she was born, so it was just there's no football to root for. So she's technically a Steelers fan.
Well, my dad grew up in Pittsburgh.
Technically a
so-
Steelers fan.
So.
Yeah. But the Bills are where it's at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are your social media handles, and what type of social media platforms do you have?
So right now our main ones are just Facebook and Instagram, and it's just at the Bagel Jar.
We have a Twitter, but we haven't done.
I think
anything.
we have one post, so just disregard that.
Same with us.
Yeah.
We don't use it.
No.
But we have the handle.
People follow us. I don't know why,
Yeah.
but they follow us.
Well, John posted one time from Instagram because he didn't know it just would say like a link to Instagram on Twitter, and I was like, nope, we can't do that.
That's why I'm not head of marketing.
Perfect.
I'm pretty sure that's all of our posts right now. We're just here, click this link
Yeah.
to Instagram, and it'll show you the post.
So-
Essentially.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, we mainly use Instagram to feed both, but Facebook owns Instagram, so everything's really they're really pretty intermingled.
Yeah, I didn't know Instagram at all prior to starting this business, but
Good for you.
I really like it a lot more than Facebook now. So it's a
So
lot
can
easier.
people order through Instagram at all, or do you direct them to the website?
We normally direct them to the website, but people can like message us and we'll put an order aside for them or things like that too. But yeah, people seem to have really adapted to our website and use it.
Yeah,
so
I mean it's
without
pretty
any
pretty
issues.
straightforward. We just have like our 6 bagel flavors. Basically the homepage is bagel flavors. Do I say bagel or bagel?
No, you're fine.
Okay. Our 6 bagel flavors.
There's 2 ways to say it. There's bagel and there's bagel.
I don't know how I say it.
I don't know either. I know he says bagel. I say bagel.
I say
No, I
bagel.
say bagel.
No,
Hey,
you did say bagel.
Yeah, you say a hard A.
Bagel.
I need to get out of this city. The Buffalo accent owns my soul, man. I can't get out of it.
I'm only sensitive to it because John, it sometimes comes out. So like when we were in college, it was like
I was
very
made fun of
apparent.
heavily.
Yeah,
Yeah.
John was made fun of because of his accent.
Yeah.
So
And you emphasize the O in college.
do I?
Yeah, and I make it an A.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Like everyone in Buffalo has to blow their nose when they speak.
Yeah.
Yeah, she went to elementary school, not elementary school, like
Yeah.
how it's spelled. But I mean, just wanted to put that out there. But what were we talking about?
What were we saying?
You weren't sure if you could say bagel correctly.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
were
but
talking
before
about
that-
the ordering or your Instagram site and ordering through the
yeah. So
Instagram.
basically, yeah, our website's pretty simple. It's just we basically have an order page, where we'll be page, an events page, and our main page is just like our 6 go-to bagels, and we'll have some rotating flavors that we'll probably throw in there at the bottom. Hopefully, we get to expand more once we dedicate. Now that we got the bagels down, I think we're going to try to dedicate more time to doing some rotating, like weekly flavors that we kind of rotate through, just because we do enjoy making other flavors than just the 6 that we currently have. So
Yeah, because we just like to eat new bagels.
yeah,
We're
we like to
tired
try
of
the new
flavors.
bagels until we get sick of them, and then we just continually make them.
Yeah,
How much experimenting really goes on?
I know. Exactly.
Got to try everything first.
Exactly.
So
Cool.
yeah.
Well, anything else you guys want to add?
Uh,
Your bagels are fantastic.
Thank
That's
you.
what I would like to add.
Thank you. No. Just thank you for everyone who's supported us so far.
Yeah.
I don't think we thought we'd be here right now, but we're really happy and are going to keep trying to make the best bagel we can.
Yeah. I mean,
Perfect.
can I add anything else?
Awesome. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in. This has been our interview with The Bagel Jar. Go to thebageljar.com, correct?
Yep.
To place an order. They have 6 main staples right now, and we'll be adding more soon. And you do not want to miss this bagel. It is fantastic.
I agree.
I agree. All right, we are out. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.